morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is February the 16th, 2024, and today the topic is what you see is what you get. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope that you guys had a wonderful Thursday. Mine was just fine. Yeah, mine was good overall. Um, my Thursday was a date at work. I feel like we're getting into a nice little routine. Me and the new kids director and things of that nature. And so yeah, man. Um, I can't complain. I was even able to call a couple of the team members and things like that, which I haven't been able to do in the past few weeks. So, to God be the glory. I think we're getting there. Nothing too much of significance. I mean, I had a quite a few interesting conversations and whatnot yesterday. Getting to know my coworker a little bit more, expressing, my interest in, the church and um, thankful for being involved the way I am, but willing to do whatever, things of that nature. So we're gonna see how this all plays out. I know my coworker asked me yesterday. He was like, do you see yourself in 5 years and stuff? And the interesting thing is now, I mean, I feel like I've achieved a lot of my personal goals. Last year I put out my first movie. Um, I've been doing so many amazing other things since then. I always saw myself as an entrepreneur. So here I am living in the midst of that. Saw myself having different businesses and endeavors, and that has happened. Um, sure, I would love to produce another movie like full out and have the whole crew and whole cast and all that type of stuff. Um, and what else? Hold up. I need to get music, my music out of my head, especially the worship music. So that's, another goal on my bucket list. But outside of those things, I mean, I'm just kind of going with whatever the Lord want to do with me, for me, and through me. You know what I mean? So, of course, I would love to keep GSL going. And like I said, I'm excited to see what else is going to happen through the church and stuff, and being part of the ministry and whatnot. But that's all I pretty much know at this particular moment. We're gonna see what the Lord do. And I guess as I continue to do daily inspiration, I guess y'all gonna be on the ride with me. But anywho, today's an exciting day, not only because it's Friday and we got a new episode of the GSL Talk Show coming out tonight, with a guest that's seen us before, Mr. Corey Rosinski. Rosinski. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. But anywho, yeah, he's coming back tonight on the talk show. But tonight, your girl is gonna be getting with my mom's side of the family, the cousins. We're getting together and going bowling tonight. So that's an exciting thing happening that I'm looking forward to. And I my day became really clear because I had someone scheduled to do a future GSL conversation, but they wanted to reschedule. So I'm like, hey, so that kind of leaves me open and available or whatnot for today. But I guess I'm gonna just pretty much chill until bowling time. That's what I think we're gonna end up doing. But yeah, that's what's going on. But let's get into this conversation, y'all. What you see is what you get. The inspiration, I would say, just really came to me, I would say, after I listened to the prayer meditation and I was just kind of getting on social media and just, I don't know, just I guess waiting for the Lord to tell me something. Um, but the interesting thing is when I listened to the prayer meditation this morning, it pretty much reiterated what I was sharing with you guys yesterday about who's in control, because basically this morning on the Soul Space app, it was kind of having me to um, just take a moment to just woosah, I guess, and then understand that at the end of the day, things were still happening outside of me. With me taking that break, it didn't break anything, things of that nature. And it just pretty much remind me again about, again, God being in control of all things. Um, but yeah, like I said, I mean, the phrase "what you see is what you get" came into my heart and mind this morning. And one of the first things I did was look up the song, of course, right? So I looked up the song, and as I was reading the lyrics, I just was like, you know what? This reminds me of those Bible verses that talk about idols, and they talk about like people make them out of wood and gold and all these different type of things, but they're not real. If you guys read the lyrics to that song, then you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, because it talks about, I guess, that love not being real, but that person has real love. And so I just, like, I guess in my heart and mind, I had the heart and mind of God on my heart and mind. So, again, as I was reading those lyrics, I just really just clearly saw God saying these words, I guess to me, but then I guess ultimately to you all as well. So if you want to take out the time to listen to that song or read the lyrics to that song, then hopefully you'll be encouraged and inspired by what you read. Now I only read maybe like the first few verses and stuff. So if it starts talking about some, weird stuff, then I mean, don't obviously chew up the meat, spit out the bones. But I would say, yeah, the first few verses, and I would say the chorus really stood out to me as, being like the heart of God, saying, hey, I'm the real thing, baby. You know what I mean? But anywho, so with that on my heart and mind, I went deeper and of course went to openbible.info and my normal resource places. And I plugged in the phrase, what you see is what you get. And one of the first things that came to me was talking about faith and things of that nature. And then as I was looking at that, seeing God came into my heart and mind. And so I started to look into verses centered around seeing God. And then I went deeper about that on gotquestions.org as well. So let me share with you guys what I feel like the Lord shared with me to share with you guys. All right, here we go. Hebrews 11:1. It says, now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. I mean, I guess it just goes with this whole conversation about seeing, right? What you see is what you get. It's like I know we can go through life and close our eyes to the Lord. You know what I mean? We can go through life and just pretend He's not there, pretend like, we're just here alone, all those different type of things. Now, sure, I believe that when we do things like that, we either end up in humbling situations or just you just never know. Like a lot of times you'll kind of, I'll just say it one way. So sometimes, most of the time, it seems like we'll end up in situations that humble us to understand that, hey, there is something outside of myself. There is something outside of what I quote unquote think I can do to like hide from God or shut Him out of my life or whatever. At least that's what happened in my life. Now I don't know. Maybe it's only happening with God's chosen people. I have no clue. But I believe that it's written deep down in our hearts, like what the truth is. So I believe that all of us have the knowledge um, to a certain extent. But I think the issue is that a lot of the times we either harden our heart against God um, to then, I guess, again, try to walk through life without Him. But I mean, again, I think even death shows like what the truth is, right? Because again, when someone passes away, their body is still here, but the person is no longer there, and that to me confirms that there is some type of spiritual thing going on. Obviously, the spirit within that person is gone, and so maybe people don't want to call it a spirit. Maybe people don't want to agree, but um, to me, again, like I said, even death shows like what the Bible is saying, because then the body itself goes back to being dust. Um, so hey, what you see is what you get, right? If you're not trying to see the Lord, then I guess you won't. You know what I mean? But if you are actively pursuing and trying to see the Lord, then you will see. I guess how His hand is in your life. You'll see Him moving. You'll see all the wonderful things that He's created. And you'll understand that, hey, man, yourself is included in that. And that gives us all hope, faith. And I guess for me, it gives me more trust and whatnot. The more that I've seen God work in my life. But hey, I'm just one person. Let me give you guys another verse. Hebrews 11:6, it says, and without faith, it is impossible to please Him, for whoever would draw near to God must believe that He exists and that He rewards those who seek Him. So in order to see Him, you have to seek Him, Now, yeah, you can get all the rewards and all that stuff sounds good. But I mean, I think, again, what stood out to me the most in that verse is, again, what you see or seek, right, is what you're going to get. Like if you seek Him, then you're going to see Him and receive more. If you don't seek Him, I mean, we can see what that looks like all around us in the world. Here's another verse, y'all. Matthew 5, and I believe it's 8, which y'all can go confirm. It says, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." If you truly want to see God, then hey, let's start to be pure in heart. I think, again, those that purely, truly seek Him, you find Him. Um, you know, I don't know how else to say that. Is there a way to break it down even more than that? I mean, again, I can just sit here and tell my testimony. The more I started to be like, okay, Lord, well, what you want to do? What you want to do with me in my life? Obviously, I'm not on the right track. Obviously, again, I wrote all about it. That just makes it easier for me to tell this testimony because I mean, I can sit here and talk all day about again the exact details of like my process and stuff, but basically, long story short, I was living my life on my own, trying to do this and do that, going for the things that I thought I wanted, things of that nature, and feeling like, man, something's missing, something ain't right. Um, all those different feelings. And then ultimately I went to God's House Orlando, and the pastor said, if you make your wants God's wants, you're gonna get what you want. And I said, well, Lord, what is it that you want? And ever since then, that's when I believe he started to show me not only what he wanted, to do with me, for me, and through me, but then also that he was there, and that he was listening and things of that nature. And again, meeting my husband years after that, was another confirming thing to me. Because again, all through the cultivation period, I was praying for this unknown man, and all these different things. And feeling like, man, is this going to happen for me? All those different things. And then years later, here is the manifestation of those prayers, and in the form of a man named Nadario Sage Jr. I mean, no, not Nadario Sage, because my son is Nadario Sage Jr. Anywho, and all of that. And so that was another confirming thing to be like, okay, Lord, you was listening to me about that. And let me talk to you about my career then. Okay, well, let me talk to you about my finances then. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, hey, whatever you want to do, because I've learned to trust the Lord. But I had to seek him, right? I had to seek him in order to see him, right? Let's keep going. 1 John 3:2, it says, "Beloved, we are God's children now, and what we will be has not yet appeared, but we know that when he appears, we shall be like him because we shall see him as he is." I didn't necessarily mean to write down this verse. I meant to write down one of the other ones that I put in the go deeper section. But I mean, obviously that this is a significant verse as well, so I'm not going to take anything away from it or anything like that. um it's showing us that, okay, as God's children, when he decides to appear in things that are nature, then we will see him, I guess, spiritually, physically, and all that, because we're going to be like him and things of that nature. But until then, you can still see him again if you seek him, right? Again, because you'll see everything is a reflection of God. Each and every one of us is an expression of his creativity, as well as everything that's in this beautiful world. And I know we don't like to think that, because some of us like to think, oh, the world is horrible, X, Y, Z, whatever. But I mean, if you truly like just take a look at nature, take a look at the animals, take a look at the plants, take a look at yourself, all these different things are constant reminders. If you are seeking the Lord, you'll see that these things are constant reminders of God and his intricate creativity and much, much more. So what you see is what you get, y'all. At the end of the day, if you are going to refuse to see the Lord, then yeah, I guess you would look at all the beautiful creation and say, ugh, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you would look at yourself and think, less than, or whatever the case may be. Maybe you are living without hope and all these things because you choose to leave God out, and you choose to shut him out of your mind, your life, and you don't seek him. But those of us that are seeking, I believe that, I'm not the only one that can share this testimony, that at the end of the day, I see God working in my life in a variety of ways. I'm not even worried about anything in these days, for the most part. I mean, outside of like things I usually worry about, like paying bills and all that type of stuff. And I know that sounds crazy. Yes, I'm adulting, yeah, and all that as well. But I'm just leaning and depending on the Lord, and he's doing a phenomenal thing with me, for me and through me. I got one more verse, y'all. It's John 14:9. It says, "What does it mean to see?" Oh no, wait. Oh no, that's not a verse. My apologies. That's one of the articles in the Go Deeper section. So, I mean, that's all for the verses. I have a Bible verse of today, but let me go ahead and tell you guys about the Go Deeper section. Of course, like I said, there's a few verses there that you guys can peruse and let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. And then there is also a couple of articles that are in the Go Deeper section from gotquestions.org. Just trying to pull it up on here, but it's somewhere. There it is. Gotquestions.org, y'all. And those two articles are, what does it mean to seek God's face? And then the other one is, how can I see the hand of God moving in my life? If you have those questions, or if those things are resonating with you, you want to see God and things of that nature, then I hope that you guys go deeper. And yeah, that's the juice. Now, the Bible verse of today is Galatians 2:20. It says, I am crucified with Christ. Nevertheless, I live. Yet not I, but Christ liveth in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day. And I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. There you go. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble. Anybody listening to the sound of my voice, I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. Thank you so much for listening, watching, subscribing, and sharing all those wonderful things. Yeah, man, like I said, I guess I'm excited for tonight, man. I'm gonna go bowling and prayerfully have a great time with the cousins. Yeah, it's gonna be a whole family thing, for us, for the old Happy Saves crew. NJ will be there. My husband's supposed to be coming as well, if the Lord's will. So, it'll be a nice little family night outing situation. But yeah, man, looking forward to it. I'm thinking it's gonna be a great, great time. Y'all have a fabulous Friday, man. I can sit here and talk to y'all all day. Y'all already know, but I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna let you go on about your day. Y'all have a great, great Friday. I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow if the Lord's will. And if you want to, tonight, tune in to the GSL Talk Show with Brother Corey Razinski. And check out his update, man, and all that good stuff. Y'all have a great Friday. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.